Hi Math 6-5. This is lesson 66, located on page 333 in your textbook. And for this lesson, you are going to need a ruler that has both centimeters and millimeters. Let's go remind ourselves. First of all, you should have taken your time test by now. It's a time test F for lesson 66, located on page 138. If you haven't done that, you can stop the video and go do that now. Okay, let's pick up on, so you need a ruler with centimeters. Remember, that's the cm, and millimeters. So let's review a little bit. The centimeters are the numbers on the centimeter side. Notice my ruler has an inch side, which is 1 through 12. We don't need that side at all for this lesson. We need the 1 through 30 side, the centimeter side, okay? So a centimeter is the numbers, okay? 1, 2, 3, all the way down here to 30. We're looking at centimeters today. In between those centimeters, though, you'll notice there are tick marks. And I'll tell you, there are 10 of them. You can go count them to make sure, but there are 10 of them. Those little bitty marks are your millimeters marks. So today we're dealing with centimeters and millimeters. So if you have 1 centimeter, remember that is the same as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 millimeters. 1 centimeter is 10 millimeters. So let's look at that and let's review a couple things here. So 1 centimeter is 10 millimeters. So it's like taking 1 times 10. We only use centimeters and millimeters on lesson 66. Okay. So let's do some example to refresh our brain. 5 centimeters, so that means I'm going all the way to the number 5, is how many millimeters? So I'm going to count by, I'm either going to multiply it by 10, because I'm going from centimeters to millimeters, 5 times 10, or I can count 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 millimeters. Okay, so I took 5 times 10, because there's 10 millimeters in a centimeter. Or you can count it out on your ruler if that's an easier way for you. Okay, that one's pretty simple. Let's refresh our brain though. A little step further. What if we're going from millimeters to centimeters? So remember, millimeters are our tiny tick marks. So we're at 20, on my page, 24 millimeters. We're trying to turn that into centimeters. So we're gonna count 10, 20, and then we're gonna go past it, 1, 2, 3, 4. So how many centimeters did we go? Because remember, we're going to centimeters. So I said it's 10, 20. So we made it to the whole number of 2 centimeters. So we're gonna put our 2. And then remember, we're divided into tenths. Remember our place value. This is our ones. This is our tenths. So how many tenths past 2 are we? So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll write 2 and 4 tenths centimeters. Okay, so that's kind of a review of some things we've done. So let's look at our book real quick. I'm going to grab my textbook here, go through a couple with you that are in here. All right, I am now on page, let me get it where you can see my page. I'm on 334. Okay, so down here, this is what we just did. The length of the segment, 24 millimeters. You notice your book was kind here and gave you a millimeters ruler separate from your centimeters ruler. It's fabulous. So you just count the millimeters, 10, 20, and then it ends 4 past that. So that's 24 millimeters. Remember, you abbreviate that mm. It gave you the centimeter rulers. We're still measuring this line in between the two, the same line. So we go past 1, we go past 2, so therefore we have the whole number 2. We know that we're in tenths, so how many tenths past that? So we count from there. Remember, you skip the 2 and go 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 and 4 tenths. Okay, that can be applied to a number line also. Let's look at this one down here. So just as we write it as a decimal number here, we can use it as a number line down here. Let's look at this number line. So if we wanted to find out what this dot was pointing to, luckily our book tells us, but let's go ahead and review how we do that. We look at and we say, okay, it's between 0 and 1, so has it made it to 1 yet? No. So our whole number is 0, the 1's place value. And then we're going to have a decimal, and we figure out we have 1, 2, I skipped 0 when I counted, remember? Skip the first one. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I do have 10. And which one was it pointing to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 6th one. So 6/10. Notice here on the next couple, they're between 1 and 2. So the whole number, or the 1's place value, is 1. And then which of the tenths does it point to? Okay. So let's look at this one and pretend we don't have the answer right here. So we are between 3 and 4. So our whole number, our 1's value, is going to, have we made it to 4 yet? No. So we have to start with 3. And then we have to figure out, okay, so 3 is my 1's value. Now let's look at how many past that do I go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10, and we stopped on number 7 of 10, which becomes the number 3 7/10. Okay, let's look at, I have a couple more examples on my sheet that we can work together of those. Okay. In your math book, it asks you on page 334, letter A, to find the length of your math book in centimeters and millimeters. All right, I'm gonna bring my math book back on the screen. You're going to need your ruler for this one. Now I want you to look at the instructions. It says use a centimeter ruler to find the following measurements. Record each measurement twice so that each of these, A through E, are gonna have two answers. A centimeter answer and a millimeter answer. Once is a number of millimeters, once is a number of centimeters. It wants the length of your math book. So we have to remember the length of the book is this way, okay? So you also remember, I'm gonna show you an up close. On my ruler, mine zeroes out, let's see, 4, 5. My zeroes out at the edge. Some rulers, not this one, but some rulers will have a 0. Be sure you line the 0 up with the edge of your book. For me, I get to line the edge of my ruler. Oh, I'm not on the screen. I'm so sorry. Okay, let me try that again. For my ruler, you'll notice there's no 0. So the edge of my ruler is 0. I'm going to line that up with the edge of my book. Some rulers have a 0 written on them. You'll want to line up the 0 with the edge of your book. So I'm going to line up the edge of my ruler with the edge of my book and get it as straight as I can and see how many centimeters or millimeters that comes up to. So let's see. So mine, let's go centimeters. So I go, centimeters are the numbers. I'm going to come all the way down, 26, 27. So I'm past 27. But I'm not quite yet to 28. So I know in centimeters, I'm going to be at 27 and something, okay? So I'm gonna go back to my page and I'm gonna write 27 and a decimal, because I know that there's 10, remember the 10 tick marks between. So we're down here and I gotta figure out which tick mark does it go to? So I gotta count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mine looks like it goes to 4. So 27 and 4/10 centimeters. And then I have to figure that out in millimeters. So remember, you can multiply that by 10, or you can count by 10s, okay? So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, 200, 210, 220, 230, 240, 250, 260, 270, and then how many past that am I? 271, 272, 273, 274. So in millimeters, that would be 274 millimeters. Okay? So that is how I would measure my book. On yours, you're gonna get the opportunity to do the length of your book, the width of your paper, and then over here, it'll run you through a 1-inch segment. Now, it gives you this and tells you it's 1 inch. It wants you to tell them how many centimeters is it, how many millimeters is it. The length of the paper clip, how many centimeters, how many millimeters. The diameter of the dime, how many centimeters, how many millimeters, okay? So let's look at my next example, which is letter J in your book, okay? So letter J in your book, let me pull this on the screen right here. Letter J, where is letter J located? So we have to look at where letter J, it's between 2 and 3. Has the letter J made it to 3 yet? No. So we know that the letter J is going to be located at 2 and something centimeters. I have it drawn on here also. Let's see, that might be easier to see. So I'm going for the letter J. So like I said, I'm past 2, but I haven't made it to 3 yet. So I know it's 2 and something centimeters. And, oh, no, we're not in centimeters. Just decimal number, Sorry, I messed that up. 2 and something. So on letter J, we have to figure out how many tick marks there are between 2 and 3. So we don't count 2, and we say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 tick marks. So remember we learned the other day, here's your ones, here's your tenths, and there's a decimal in between. So which tenth is the J on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 and 8 tenths. I was still going centimeters and millimeters. So that would be how you would find that, okay? All right, that is lesson 66. Like I said, be sure you have your ruler to be able to do it well. And I'll be back with a video for lesson 67 soon.